Hello Taurus, this is your November astrology forecast. Well, this month there's going to be a huge focus on your relationships. That's going to be like the starring role, and also later in the month certainly more of a focus on your finances, Taurus, and that's always a hot subject for you. But let's start out the month with a full moon on the 6th of the month in your sign, Taurus. So this full moon happening right here in your first house. So Taurus, this is shining a light on you. You may feel extra sensitive, extra emotional at this time. You may feel as though you feel a little bit vulnerable in a way. A lot of your energy has been going out there into relationships in one way or another. And this full moon in your sign is shining a light on, what do I need? What do I want? What do I need emotionally? That's what the moon is about. It's your emotions. What does that inner child need? Is your inner baby crying? What's it crying for? What does it need? Does it need a relationship with more freedom? Are you feeling too confined in a relationship? Or are you feeling as though the person you're with is just never available or never available for you emotionally? So these are all things to ask yourself, because this full moon is going to shine a light on your emotional needs. You'll be able to be clearer about them so that you can have healthier and happier relationships as a result of it. On the 10th of November, we've got an exact conjunction of Pluto and Mars. Now, these are two very powerful planets, and when they come together, it can mean that there is a significant ending, or there is a significant karmic experience, something that's very deep. It's almost like an obsession. It's something that you're drawn to, or you need to end because it's just, you have to get out of here. It's a feeling of, let me free. And this is happening right up here in your 9th house, so this could be connected with making a very important trip, traveling somewhere important, maybe connected with work, since it's in Capricorn. But it can also mean deciding, going more deeply into finding out what you want to learn, what you need to study, what you can do to take your life onto a higher level, a new level. It also can take you deeper in your meditation, for those of you that do that, or anything in your spiritual practices, your psychic development, because we've all got intuition. It could be a real flash of an intuition, but it could also mean meeting somebody and feeling an obsessive magnetic pull to them. I'd have to caution you, because on the 12th we've got an exact square of Mars with Uranus, so make sure that you're not acting too quickly with something. It could be something to do with, rushing off on a trip, changing your dates for going somewhere. It could have something to do with a legal situation that suddenly takes a shift, or something you'd missed or hadn't noticed. It could also be to do with maybe somebody who's teaching you, mentoring you. Maybe there's a shift that needs to happen, or maybe you're teaching someone else. This would be a very good time for pushing ahead with publishing something, getting some information out there into the world. But if you're making any kind of an action, I would say between the 10th and the 12th of this month, just make sure you're taking your time. Sometimes people can run around, there can be road rage, all these kinds of things when Mars is square to Uranus. And for much of the month, as you can see, there's a lot of planets here in this 7th house of relationship, Taurus. So there's already been a lot of focus on relationships for the last 2 and a bit years with Saturn in this house. Many of you have had endings, completions, hard lessons to learn in relationships. Maybe you've left a relationship and you've been feeling lonely. But for much of this month, at least for the first 2 weeks, Venus is there. And Venus is certainly helping. If you want to get into a relationship, it's lightening up some of the interactions in your relationships. It can bring you somebody new into your relationships. On the 18th of the month, we've got the Sun actually conjunct to Saturn on that one day. So this could be also some serious speaking in a relationship. It could be the signing of a contract. The 7th house is a house of contracts between the 23rd and 27th as well. We've got Sun and Mercury coming together. So these three guys coming together means that it's time for some realistic things in your relationships. So if things have been promises, lots of things, oh yes, this will happen, it'll get better. Well, it's time for some realism. Maybe you need to do a prenup if you're going to be getting married. Yes, Saturn wants you to be real and serious about relationships. However, you could decide, yes, I'm going to get married. Somebody could pop the question, or I'm going to be in a more committed relationship. But there also, with the Saturn and the Mercury coming together, could be some more serious things that need to be discussed and shared so that you can come to a resolution. On the 17th of November, we've got Venus going into your 8th house. This is a time to enjoy delving into the deeper parts of you. Where are your talents? So many times I have people come to me and you know, they're focusing on one area of their life, they've studied this, and now they're bored and like what to do. And they don't realise that there are so many talents in a chart. There's so much an astrologer can share with you, and very often there are talents that are really untapped, really an uncharted course. So really a good month for the last couple of weeks of the month to look at, you know, where are my other talents? Really delve a little more deeply into that, because on the 22nd of November we've got a lovely new moon in Sagittarius. And this is also happening in the 8th house. So I would be preparing for possibly some changes in a partnership. If you know, in a marriage, maybe your partner's income may change. They may get a new job, a new position. Certainly some changes happening there, because also on the 23rd, we've got the Sun coming into this 8th house. And on the 29th, Mercury coming into this 8th house. So this is a very big focus, Taurus. You know, your sign rules money, but it's really important now to look at new beginnings with finances, new ways to deal with money, your resources, the things around you. Are you using resources intelligently enough? Have you got the best deals that you can possibly get with banks, with insurance companies, with utility companies? Is all your tax information in order? All of these things are up for grabs at this point, but also up for grabs is getting more intimate with someone, getting closer with someone. It could even be getting closer with yourself, going more deeply into examining your motivations, your obsessions, the things that play on your mind. It's a wonderful time as well for getting some counselling, some advice, going for a reading for somebody, just to get some input as to the deeper things that are going on beneath the surface. And so for next month, what's very significant, it's almost like this month, I won't say it's a complete lull, but it's certainly a lull after October and the eclipses. And next month we'll have the exact square of Pluto to Uranus coming up again. And not only that, we're going to have Saturn changing sign. Finally moves out of this 7th house of relationship on the 24th of the month, and will be coming, more of that next month of course, into your 8th house. I know, and that can be a time which you are reborn. It can be a rebirthing process. I think that Saturn into Sagittarius is going to bring huge changes to us in our world, particularly with education, with freedom of press, with freedom of speech, with truth, with lies. Wow, there's so much. I'm very excited about that, and I'm going to be doing a separate video on that, and of course a lot more detail in next month's videos, December, about what that's going to mean for you personally, Taurus. So, I wish you a great month. thank you very much for listening, for subscribing, commenting and sharing. And I'm always delighted to hear from you. For those of you, I love doing readings and would love to take a deeper look at you. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.